here is, this guy's too good. So the House and Ways and Means Committee
Yes.
debated yesterday, presumably, I guess, on this bill. Didn't they come out too with they called the bill like the world's greatest healthcare 2017? There's two committees that are marking this up. Ways and Means is one, and I can't remember what the other ones. Maybe it's some.
I think
health
it's
and
energy for some reason.
And part of that, I think, has to do with the fact that this is going to be a reconciliation project. And so this legislation is going to be passed through reconciliation, which I think maybe only specific committees have access to because it affects the budget. I'm not sure. But here is Missouri Representative Jason Smith. And there's two ways to look at what he's doing here. One way to look at it is he's doing a performance piece called The Dumbest Thing I Can Say, but doing it in a way that makes me think I'm the smartest man in the room. The other way in which you could perceive this is he's just doing some good Republican politicking.
You know, there's a lot of taxes out there, but you could tax a lot of different items if you want to stop behavior. You know, I love ice cream.
Michael!
Ice cream is probably not the most healthy thing to eat. Why is there not a tax on that? You know what? If you look at the #1 cause of skin cancer, it's not tanning beds. Do a Google search. It's the sun. So I noticed the people over here haven't found too many taxes that they dislike. So why have they not proposed a tax on the sun?
Let's work backwards to front, shall we? I suspect a
That guy's
major
making a lot
reason
of sense.
why you wouldn't tax the sun is because it's impossible to tax the sun. Now, you could say tax something like hydrocarbons and other energy sources, particularly ones that impose a cost on the rest of society. Since society's going to have to bear that cost, then the taxes would be appropriate. But that's not really what he's talking about.
You think you're so smart. Maybe you should Google something.
And as far as taxing ice cream, not such a crazy idea, actually. Just for example, we have, I think, a half a dozen cities in
You
this
about
country.
to throw Mike Bloomberg some props here?
We have a half a dozen cities in this country that have a tax on sugar-sweetened drinks. There was a study just, I don't know, less than a year ago out of Australia. A 20% tax on sugar-sweetened drinks would result in widespread, long-lasting public health benefits and significant health cost savings, a new study shows. Now, health cost savings is important because that's borne by everybody who pays taxes. And when you pay taxes to take care of people on diabetes, you are subsidizing their drinking sweetened drinks. And you're subsidizing the makers of those sweetened drinks who are basically offloading the cost of their product, of their profits, on all of us. We found, according to this, not only the tax obviously raised $400 million a year, whatever, we found there would be over 800 fewer new type 2 diabetes cases each year. After 25 years, about 1,600 fewer deaths. This is in Australia, folks, with a population, I think, maybe a tenth of ours, fifth of ours, quarter of ours. Like a sixth, a seventh. There would be 4,400 fewer people with heart disease at the time and 1,100 fewer people living with the consequences of stroke. And in fact, Australians would enjoy about 170,000 healthy life years that they would not have otherwise. I think Mr. Smith should go back to the drawing board and start thinking about proposing this ice cream tax.
Yeah. Maybe if you didn't hate terrorists so much, we could tax ISIS.
Here he
But
is.
you love terrorists. so we can't.
Now, but look, it's one thing to make fun of this congressman from Missouri, Representative Jason Smith, because he makes a dumb comment about taxing the sun and a dumb comment about taxing ice cream.
Gets better.
But why do that when you can make fun of him for wondering why on International Women's Day people don't contemplate the implications of taxing tanning beds?
And what I found on Google is roughly 80% of who's taxed are women. So out of the $600 million that has been created by this tax, which is an interesting excise tax, $480 million has come from the backs and the pockets of women. Today's International Women's Day. It's interesting that no one is bringing that up.
I mean, think about it. Kind of blows your mind, doesn't it?
And I haven't even given the international costs of taxation of tanning beds throughout the world.
Maybe my colleagues on the other side of the aisle would like to tax tanning beds in Ukraine. Maybe everywhere. Maybe women who want to not look gross and pale.
I just find
they
it
should all just
interesting.
pay for everything.
I just think it's interesting. That's all. I'm talking slowly so that it'll sink into your mind that I Googled this.
I Googled this, and it's just interesting to me that a lot of my colleagues on the other side of the aisle think that black people are full humans. You can Google that. There's a lot of things you can Google. It's called Martin Luther King Jr. Facts.org.
I really do love somebody who can go up there and put on airs of being that smart while saying something so dumb.
Yeah,
And
that guy is really feeling himself like he's the new Thomas Paine and like just cutting right through all the nonsense.
If you're only listening to this, but if you should really watch it on YouTube, because it's not, I mean, he obviously sounds ludicrous enough in terms of what he's saying,
So
but he is
self-satisfied.
literally like scanning the room. Like, I know you guys aren't going to have a response
Who here
to this.
amongst us has Googled? Let's put a speaking of Google, let's put a Google alert on that guy.
I just did a
Anytime he opens-
Google
Yeah, oh my
search
God,
on him
yes.
to see what his other positions are on things, which are all terrible. And that the tanning beds thing is already on his Wikipedia page as like one of the main entries.
That's too bad. I wish there was a whole nother just world of stuff from that guy. Hey folks, Sam Seder here. Donald Trump can kiss all of our asses. And one way he can is by you subscribing to this channel. I don't know how that works.